Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Fletcher the Fisherman, and today we're going to be taking a step back in time for this week's Fishing Challenge Friday, all the way to the 1920s. So let's see what the first generation of bass fishing was all about. And here you have it, a box full of lures from the early 1920s, 1930s era. These lures really help shape and define modern bass fishing as we know it today. You can see an early jerkbait in this one, a popper or chugging bait in this one. These also look like some kind of popping bait. Just gonna have to tie them on and try. An early prop bait, another popper possibly, I don't know. A early wake bait possibly, maybe a jerk bait. Just gonna have to tie it on and try it. And personally, these are my two favorites. This one looks like it came straight out of hell. Look at all the hooks on this, 5 treble hooks. I have never seen anything like this. It definitely caught my eye when I opened these up. And finally, this one right here is an early swim bait. Kind of looks like a snake, probably reminds you of your ex, but it's a really cool lure, and I'm excited to try it. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this challenge in the comment section below. I'm gonna do half the lures today, and then if y'all like this challenge, I'll do half of the lures in a future video. You just gotta let me know. But that's enough talking for now. Let's get to the action and start fishing. We're gonna start out with a jerkbait lure. It's got a nice golden brown finish on it. It's got a nice black line down the spine. And I believe this thing is called the Tia's Oriento. That's at least what it says on the bill right here. It might be Tia's Oriento. I might be totally butchering that. I don't know whether that's the name of the company or if that's the name of the lure. I really am not sure. But this thing looks like it has some pretty good action. Let's get it in the water and, oh, I just gotta get it untangled first. Oh God, there we go. Fantastic start. Fantastic start, guys. All right, now let's get in the water. See how it swims. Oh, it's actually got a pretty good swim to it. It's swimming a lot better than I thought. It's got a really strong, wide wobble to it. What's really surprised me about this lure is actually how sharp these hooks are for being as old as they are. I mean, they are super, super sharp. There's definitely a little bit of rust on these hooks. I actually meant to clean them up on a grinder before I brought them out here, but I forgot, so they're just gonna have to do. But they're pretty dang sharp for 100 years old. But the barbs, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. There are some gnarly barbs on these. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but the shanks on these barbs are like, I want to say 5 times the length of a normal barb. So they're pretty brutal. The last thing I want to do is get one of these rusty, ginormous barb hooks in my finger. Just not going to be a fun day if that happens. Oh no! It snapped off. No! Wow! Oh yes! He didn't get it in his mouth. Awesome. Oh my God, I thought I lost the lure. This was one of my favorite ones too. He didn't get hooked though. Oh, there we go. We rescued the lure. Well, how about that? That fish came out of nowhere, smacked the crap out of this thing, popped the line, then went underwater, shook the hook free. I guess it might have not got hooked at all, but this thing came up a few seconds later, safe and sound. Got it back. Let's get it back on the line and try to get us another one and hopefully not have another incident. Well, I unexpectedly had to leave the pond I was just at. I got a phone call and I had to run somewhere real quick, but I'm at a new pond. This pond is a little bit better suited towards the lures that I had. All of them kind of run shallow or top water, and that pond was pretty deep and all the fish were holding deep. So hopefully the luck is a little bit better here. Oh, dang. Right at the boat. There we go. Oh, finally. All right. Keep this one on the hook. Stay on here, stay on here, stay on here. We're just gonna power this one on in here and boat flip. There you have it. First vintage lure knocked out, this little jerk bait. Gonna go ahead and get this fish back in the water. Got her in the gills a little bit. She's bleeding, so we don't want any of that. Well, look at that. The hook actually came off right after I took the fish off. It kind of slid right out of there. I guess the fish kind of pulled that loose. I guess that's what 100 years of time will do to a lure, but she did her job while the fish was on, so that's all I can ask for. The next lure of the bunch that we're going to use is this popper. I think it's a popper, or looks like some type of topwater. Just going to slosh some water around. I'm going to throw it in and see what kind of this thing actually has and try to figure out how I'm supposed to use it. But interesting looking bait. Pretty sure it's a popper. Let's try it out. Oh, there we go. Nice hit from this little bass right here. Gave me a little run for my money. And we got a nice hookup on the first fish. Let's get her in the boat. And there it is, popper complete. And we've knocked out the second lure, this little popper right here. I think, oh, if I can just get a hold of it. There we go. I think that is what it was supposed to do. It definitely popped to some degree, not super well. But it caught a fish doing that, so I'm gonna say it's a popper. Thank you, little bass. Have a nice swim. Bye-bye, man. Now onto the final lure of this week's challenge, a meal straight out of Hell's Kitchen itself for these bass, the 5-hook prop bait. This thing is made by South Bend. It's called something minnow. I asked people on Reddit about a week ago what it was, and they responded, but I forgot the exact name. Sorry about that, guys. But the props still spin really well for the age. The hooks are still relatively sharp. I mean, it seems to be pretty intact. I'm pretty sure it sinks nice and dense. So let's get in the water and see how fast it can produce us a nice chunky largie. Hopefully we catch a little bit bigger one than the last two. But, oh yeah, this thing definitely sinks. I don't know how to fish prop baits at all. Honestly, I don't think I've ever used a prop bait in my entire life. At least one of like this nature. I've had lures with props on them, but they were all top water. So I'm just gonna jerk this thing around. Doesn't really have much action to it besides the spinning props themselves. It's probably the most weedless lure I've ever fished. All these hooks are so concealed. What in the world? This thing caught weeds? I could have swore this thing was about as weedless as a frog. Ugh, ridiculous. Shipping it back. Oh, 2 strikes. I just had 3 strikes on this thing. Oh, another one's chasing it. 3 strikes on a bait with 5 hooks and no hookup. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe more the merrier is not the case in this scenario. You know what, guys? I'm catching so many weeds with this little lure right here. I thought I might just share some with y'all. Here you go. Here's some nice weeds. Oh no! Got a strike. How are these fish not hooking up? There's 5 treble hooks on this thing. Ah! Oh, there we go. Fish on. And the challenge is almost complete, y'all. We just gotta get it in the boat. Hopefully one of these 5 trebles doesn't let me down. And we're in. Hallelujah. And just like that, 1, 2, 3 lures knocked out. It was an awesome day. Unfortunately, I had to leave earlier on and come back to this, but it was definitely worth coming back to. These lures were absolutely fantastic today. Go ahead and get this girl back in the water. Thank you for the fun time. And on that note, we're gonna wrap up today's episode of Fishing Challenge Friday. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. I mean, I got a whole bunch more of vintage lures if y'all want to see more of this. So just let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of the great content coming your way. And as always, bassin' is a passion. Peace out.